Here we go. Here we go. Oh, it's Sophie. Hey, watch out, Sophie. I'm gonna surprise Frank. Oh, this is gonna be good. Shh, shh, fluffy pants. Oh, it's Coley Cat. What's he doing in here? Shh, shh, shh. Hey, Frank, we got you. We got you. He's on the toilet. Look, everybody, Frank's on the toilet.
Why, you guys, what the heck? Get out of here!
Run, run, Fluffy, before he gets us. Run, move, Cole, move, Cole. Run, everybody, run.
Hey kids, you're watching another edition of Bible Bears! I've got my trusty friend Tuffy filming this.
Yeah, strange location, Frank. Deciding to film in the bathroom while sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, Frank, that's a little disturbing. Yeah, well, have you ever heard that sometimes bears do their best thinking on the toilet? I just so happen to have in my lap a great Bible story book. Here, take a look. Oh boy, Frank, what story are we gonna learn about today? Great question, Fluffy Pants. So glad you decided to join me in the loo, as they say in Britain. Aren't I sophisticated?
Yeah, you're a regular Renaissance man, Frank. Telling Bible stories from the toilet. How charming.
Our Bible story today is about Samson. Samson was one of the mightiest men in the Bible. He was super strong. In fact, one time he killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of a donkey. Oh my gracious! You sure we should be telling this story, Frank? Well, I'm not going into graphic details about how he slaughtered 1,000 men with the jawbone.
Great use of terminology, Frank. Slaughtered.
Before we get into this story, if you want to hear how awesome Samson is and where he got the source of all his strength, then click that subscribe button, kids. Yep, it's that little red button right below the video screen that says subscribe. SUBSCRIBE.
My gosh, Frank, way to pander to people.
So, I'm going to play the part of Samson. Now, Samson had really long hair because he was a Nazarite and had never cut his hair since birth. So, Samson, his people were always fighting with a group of people called the Philistines. Or Philistines, however you want to say it. But let's just say the Philistines have been a constant problem of the Israelites for centuries. Now, the Philistines really did not like Samson. Why? Well, for starters, he killed 1,000 of them with a jawbone. That would make me hate him too. One night, when he was sleeping, they set a trap for him, and they locked the city gates, so that in the morning, when he woke up and came out of the house, they could spring on him and attack him. But Samson got up in the middle of the night, ripped the steel gates off the city, and dragged them out of the city, and then put them up on a hill, just to show how bad he was. Samson, even though God gave him great strength, did not always obey God. Oh, that's not good. When you disobey God, it never ends well. Right you are, Fluffy. It doesn't end well. Kids, stay tuned. Samson meets someone named Delilah. Now, Delilah was a Philistine. Oh, wait. Don't the Philistines hate him? Well, that's very astute of you, Fluffy Pants. Yes, the Philistines do hate him, because he killed 1,000 of them. But regardless, he married a Philistine woman anyway. This was in disobedience to God. He meets Delilah and falls in love with her. Now, some Philistine people went to Delilah, and he said, "Find out the secret of Samson's great strength, and we'll each give you 1,100 pieces of silver." Oh, that's a tremendous amount of money. You're telling me. Anyway, so she jumped at the offer, because that is a lot of money.
And it's a lot more than you can win from scratch-offs.
Yes, thank you, Tuffy, for that commentary. She takes the money. She goes to Samson and says, please, please tell me the secret of your great strength, Samson, so that I may know. So he lies to her, because the dude's like, I'm not really going to tell you the secret of my great strength. And he says, if you tie me up with some bowstrings, then I will lose all my strength and become as strong as a normal man. So she ties him up with bowstrings, right? Because she's all about getting all that 1,000 pieces of, those thousands of pieces of silver. So she ties him up. The Philistines sneak in while Samson's sleeping. Then she goes, Samson, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. Because, of course, she had to pretend like she wasn't part of their group. So Samson jumps up, just rips those bowstrings right off, bro. Because he's still super strong. And he fends off the attackers and they run away. And he no doubt probably killed a few of them too, because that's how he rolls. So Delilah gets really mad at him because she knows he's lied to her. So she goes after him again and again and again. And he tells her a lie about how he'll lose his strength. She calls in the old Philistines. He wakes up, breaks the ropes, fends off the attackers, kills a few people, probably. So finally, as the Bible puts it, she nags and 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 nags him. And finally, Samson says, okay, all right, my hair hasn't been cut since birth because I've been set aside for God. If you shave off my head, I will lose all my strength and I'll become just like a normal man. Delilah knew that Samson was telling the truth this time. So she sends word to the Philistines. They come, they bring the money because that's what she wants, and she convinces Samson to lie down on her lap. Kids at home, you ever laid down on your mom's lap before? Oh, I have. Yeah, that's great. I wasn't asking you, I was asking the children at home. So Samson's lying there, he just falls asleep, and then Delilah calls to some... Hey, wait a second. Fix the camera.
Jeez, Frank, chill out.
There we go. So anyway, Samson falls asleep. Delilah calls in somebody, has all his hair shaved off. Then she cries out, Samson, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. Samson springs up, and he goes to fight off the Philistines, but guess what? He's got no more super strength. And they grab him, and they go to throw him in prison. But do you know what they do to him first? First, they put out his eyes. Oh, that's scary. What does that mean, Frank, to put out his eyes? They probably stuck something in his eyes, poked his eyes out, and they couldn't see anymore. Oh, dear Lord. That's right, Fluffy Pants. It's very traumatic. It's very traumatic to lose one's sight. But that God is with Samson. God is with Samson? Yeah, you better believe it. But those Philistines, they did not worship God. They worshipped a fake God. But I digress. So they throw Samson in prison, and he's blind. And he's down in there for a long time, working. But while he's working, guess what happens? Oh, he gets sick and die? No, he doesn't get sick and die. That's not the end of the story. I'll tell you what happens. His hair grows back. And do you know what happens when his hair grows back? He gets lice? No, he doesn't get lice. He gets fleas? No, he doesn't get fleas. Oh, he gets dandruff? He gets a super strength back. What do you think happens? Oh, gosh, no need to get all riled up. Good thing there's no jawbones around for you to kill me. Anyway, he gets his super strength out. Now, the Philistines are having a big old party, worshipping their fake god. Okay, called Dagon or Dagon or something ridiculous like that. So they're in a temple, and this temple is supported by big pillars, kind of like big posts that are holding up the roof. And this place is so large, it's got a big flat roof, and there's like 3,000 people on the roof of this building. So some people say, hey, let's have some entertainment. Let's bring out blind Samson and make him entertain us. So they bring out Samson. and he's blind, he can't see, and they're all likely laughing at him because remember, they hate him. Samson, he's pretty upset too. He's upset because they poked his eyes out. Now remember, Samson disobeyed God, and because he disobeyed God and fell in love with Delilah, who was not of his own people, she was a Philistine, God left Samson. And Samson, well, you see what happened to him. He got his eyes poked out.
Good grief, Frank. No need to scare the children.
Hey, I'm just trying to say that we shouldn't disobey God, because it's always better to have God on our team than not on our team, especially when you're fighting people who don't like you very much because you killed 1,000 of them. So, a young boy brings Samson in, and Samson whispers to him and says, "Psst, hey bro, I can't see very well. Can you, just lean me against those pillars over there? Those two big pillars. You know, the ones that are supporting the whole roof? Just lay me against those. It's all cool. It's cool, man." So the boy takes Samson and lays him against these pillars so he can stand up and lean against them. So everyone's probably laughing at Samson, making fun of him up on the roof and inside the temple. And Samson prays to God, and he says, "Lord, please give my strength back to me." And do you know what happens? God throws a lightning bolt at those dudes? No, God does not throw a lightning bolt at him. Send a tornado after him? No, he doesn't send a tornado. A swarm of locusts? No, he gives Samson his strength back. Jeez. Good grief, bro. He gives Samson his strength back. Now, Samson grabs hold of both pillars and he pulls. And you know what happens? He gets a hernia? No, just stop answering my questions. He pulls down the whole roof. And everybody on top of it comes crashing down, all 3,000. And then there's thousands of people under the roof. And everybody crashes down and dies.
Is that your story? For real, that's what happens at the end?
Yes.
What, are you kidding me? What?
Samson was powerful, but he disobeyed God. Sometimes, even when you're strong, you're weak. Samson was strong, had strong muscles, but his spirit was weak. He was always disobeying God. So God left him. And guess what happened to him? You already know. The answer is he got his eyes poked out. And he became a prisoner and thrown into a jail and made fun of. But God didn't abandon him fully. Samson prayed to God, and God returned to him. And the bad people, the people that poked out his eyes and teased him and made fun of him and tricked him, they paid the price as well. Remember, they were worshiping a fake God. They were having a big party for a fake God. Should we disobey God and worship fake gods? Oh, I know the answer. It's no. You know the answer to that. Good grief, I was close. I was about to say no. So anyway, kids, that's our story for today. It's a pretty awesome story, wasn't it? But don't forget, we have plenty more awesome stories, and some of them may be done from right here on the toilet.
My gosh, kids, trust me, we're not shooting again in the bathroom. We don't need more toilet stories with Uncle Frank.
That's a good one. Good morning, kids. It's now time for Toilet Stories with Uncle Frank. Alright, kids, hey, if you like this story, watch one of our others. Make sure you click that subscribe button because Ryder likes us when we tell you to do that. Bye, kids. We love you. Stay strong. Don't disobey God. Or you might get your eyes poked out.
Hello, boys and girls. Tuffy here. I just want to take a moment to apologize for Uncle Frank's actions. No adolescent should be subjected to such visuals as seeing a fat, slovenly bear sit on a toilet. It is grotesque, and I hope that this has not scarred your poor, sweet little innocent eyes at all. Thanks. Hit subscribe. Love you guys. Till next time.